Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this little while. We're going to have a nice, peaceful meditation. So let's get started, shall we? As usual, let's begin with our 3 nice, really deep breaths. Breathing in, fill up the tops of your lungs or the front of your chest. Fill it up, hold it for a moment, and then release it. Now breathe in a little more deeply and fill out the front and the back of your rib cage. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Release it slowly. And now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Fill up your rib cage, fill up your belly. Just fill it all up. Take this nice, refreshing breath. Feel your whole body kind of expand, your whole torso. Hold it for a moment. And release it nice and slowly. Oh, yeah. And let's relax our bodies. So let's get ourselves into a position where, first of all, where our whole bodies are supported, so we don't feel like we have to hold any muscles tight or flexed, while we're trying to hold our position. And now press your feet and your ankles and your calves, your knees and your upper legs together. So just squeeze all the muscles of your legs to the bone and toward the center. So press them together. For a breath cycle, breathe in and then relax it on the exhale. And now we're going to focus on the pelvis. So breathe in. Imagine pulling all the muscles in your pelvis. So your glutes, your pelvic floor, your hips, your lower torso. Just kind of squeeze everything toward the middle. Hold it for a moment. And then let it go. And now, from your midsection all the way up to your shoulders. So that includes your hands and your arms. So clench your fists and bring them up to your shoulders so that your arms are flexed. Press your upper arms into your sides. Pull all of your rib cage muscles toward the middle. And just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for a breath cycle. And then on the exhale, let it go. And now the best part, my favorite part. Pull your shoulders up to your ears. Gently tuck your chin. Pull your face to your skull. And just squeeze everything up. Your shoulders all the way to the top of your head. Just kind of squeeze it all in for a breath cycle. And then let it go and relax your muscles at the same time. Just feel the relaxation moving through your body. And the increased blood flow. So I was asking my guides this morning what we should meditate on tonight or today or this morning or whatever time I am, to be honest, recording at night. It's been a busy week. And what I got was to keep it really simple. And so we are going to focus on 2 ideas. One is acceptance. And 2 is the solution, which is allowing more and more of our infinite selves to express through our human experience. So let's think about our personalities first. So I don't know if you've heard me say before, probably dozens of times, that when we choose to have a human experience, we choose our situation. So we choose our bodies, our families, our personalities, That's my sense of it, is that we, with the guidance of the infinite, with the support of all of our spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, descendants who haven't been born yet, everyone just supporting us, we choose these experiences. And so it's important to have a level of acceptance of that. To recognize that we chose well, whether it always feels like that or not. So let's begin with our head, neck, and shoulders, and anger. And think about your personality and how you respond to anger. Are you one of those people that stuffs it, who doesn't admit that they're angry? It took me years and years to admit that I was angry about things because I wasn't allowed to be angry growing up. And that may have been your experience, or I've known other people who said that's the only emotion they expressed in their household was anger. So let's just take a moment and realize that we are the product of our upraising, or our upbringing. And what I mean by that is not that we were a victim of it at all, but that we chose it knowing that it would form our personalities in a certain way, because that is the experience we wanted to have this time. So instead of resisting, because there's a part of me that feels like I should be more accepting of my anger, maybe, or expressive of it in gentle and kind ways. But just think about your anger for a minute, and I invite you to just accept yourself as you are. So I'll be quiet for a moment so you can have a chance to think about your anger. And to have this affirmation, I accept myself and my anger and how I experience and express anger. I accept it all 100% exactly as it is right now. And if you feel like there's something about it that you would like to change, the solution always lies in allowing more of our infinite selves to express in, through, and as us. So imagine not having to choose or direct or channel or, make tough decisions, but just relaxing, accepting yourself as you are, and allowing the infinite to come in and make those little tweaks for you. I hope you couldn't hear that, but that was me kind of stretching out my neck, which is interesting because what we're talking about is emotion that we hold in our head, neck, and shoulders. So just feel your shoulders sink down and your neck grow a little longer. I accept myself, how I express my anger, how I experience my anger. I accept it all exactly as it is. And now let's go down to the heart space. And typically at the heart space is where we experience love, and also where we experience loss and sorrow and sadness. So I invite you to think about how your personality typically experiences love. And the idea that Spirit is presenting to me is, do we feel like we have to earn someone's love? I've heard a lot of talk in the last week about constantly reading the room and having to make sure that everyone is happy, which of course is a lot of things, but also trying to be loved, trying to find love, experience love. And also, how do you give love? And also, how do you feel sadness, sorrow? Some of us are taught to keep our emotions in check. And then we figure out as adults how to feel, how to experience our emotions in a healthy way. So maybe you were allowed to be sad. Maybe you are a crier, and I have to confess I'm a little envious of people who cry easily, because that's not in my wheelhouse. But wherever you are with how you naturally do it, or how you were raised to do it, let's have a moment of acceptance for who and how we are right now. Now let's imagine that there might be something in that picture that we would like to shift. Maybe it has to do with feeling loved, giving love, or experiencing our grief, our sorrow, our sadness, expressing it. But let's just take a moment, set aside all of our opinions and thoughts about our heart space, and just allow our infinite selves free reign in that area, to shift whatever needs to be shifted, to heal, to bless us. And now let's shift our thoughts to our gut and our stomach, and that's where we hold fear. That's where we process fear. It's where we also hold our courage. So I invite you to just think about how you experience fear. Are you allowed to express it? Does it run your life? Were you raised in a household where there was a lot of fear? Or in a household where there wasn't? And I think some of us are just fearful. I've met children who just seem to be naturally fearful when they were born. So however you came in, or whatever you developed throughout your life about fear and courage, first, let's have a moment of acceptance. To accept ourselves exactly as we are. And now let's shift and have let's shift and have a moment where we just open up and become open to allowing the infinite to express in, through, and as our solar plexus, our fear, our courage, wherever we need, whatever needs to be shifted, wherever we need some energy, our infinite selves to express more fully. And now imagine that you're shifting your attention to your pelvis and extremities, which is where we hold shame. And first think about, were you raised with shame? That was one of my mother's parenting techniques, shame. Plus in the private schools that I went to, shame was in abundant use. I invite you to just accept yourself wherever you are right now with feeling ashamed or not allowing yourself to feel ashamed, feeling ashamed of being ashamed, or even of shaming others. And then to know that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And if there's something that you would like to be healed, or you would like some more energy or a gentle shift, or maybe your higher self knows something you don't, let's just create the space right now for that to happen. And finally, think about your entire body, the body that you are occupying while you are having this human experience. I invite you to know that it is whole and perfect, exactly as it is. And I invite you to ask your higher self, or even just your heart of hearts, to give you a moment where you accept your body exactly as it is right here, right now. And to know that if there's something that needs to change, the power to change it is in your infinite self. Whether it's a healing that you need, a deeper level of acceptance and appreciation, or maybe it's just a shift somehow. Let's spend a moment allowing the one presence in the one power, God, universal life force, and just allow that energy, that infinite presence, to have more, to take up more space in each of our cells, in each of our thoughts, in each of our intentions, to more fully align our bodies and our hearts and our minds with our infinite self, so we fully embrace and have the human experience we came here to have. No apologies needed to anyone for any of it. This is your experience. I congratulate you for being willing to love yourself and accept yourself exactly as you are. Because even your human self, even your human experience, is whole and perfect, in that it is your human experience. So take another nice deep breath. And remember, as I like to remind you every week, you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste. Have a wonderful week.